back to another interesting episode of the Av Files. I'm your host, as always, Av. You can tell by the shirt over here. I'm
Yep.
joined once again by none other than Daniel Arias. What is up, Daniel?
What's going on? Good to be back. Good to be here. Good to be here. Good to just be a part of this. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Welcome back to the Av Files. Today's Av Files, we are doing another top 5
Yes.
in the face.
Let's
Daniel,
do it.
do your
Yes,
thing.
sir. Let's
Spin
do it. Let's
that
bring up the wheel.
wheel.
Let's bring up the there it is. Here we go. Listen to it go.
Click, 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 click.
Ooh. The scary end of days scenarios.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay calm.
everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Wait.
Everybody calm down.
All right.
My God.
Scary end of day scenario.
Get ready for the doom and gloom, everybody. Just
And who thought we're all about laughs here at the Av Files?
yes,
About waiting the scariest end of end of day death.
end of
whatever it
days
is.
scenarios. So
End of
our let's say you go first. What are your top 5? I mean, there's tons to choose from.
there's a lot.
Realistic and unrealistic.
End of day. What was it?
Like scenario. What is the global catastrophe? What is extinction level thing that would happen?
Oh man. Okay, so end of day scenario. Okay, so I would go with let's start with a little pandemic.
Hello?
This is a national crisis.
We're seeing bleeding from the eyes, screaming.
Find a place to hide and stay there.
Yeah.
Pandemic. That's got to be one. Or at
Yep.
least we're gonna start low. Pandemic. That's one that will kill a lot of people. But eventually, I think for the stronger ones and ones that are probably
Isolated.
maybe have an edge on it. Yeah, isolated, probably have a little edge on other people. People that know how to survive in the wilderness, able to forage for their own food, grow their own food. Even if it's just a little bit of knowledge,
Yeah.
they probably step above other people that order Uber Eats all the time, or
Yeah.
stuff like that. Because if you can't get your own food and able to like cook it up in some way, you're probably a goner. So I would say like a pandemic, because if you're able to isolate yourself and survive that way, you should be good. If you can't, you're probably going to end up dead.
Yeah. I mean, and if you think about it, like pandemic, let's say, depending on the type, right? That could just affect, let's say it could just affect humans, right? Which doesn't necessarily affect food sources.
No,
You know what I mean? Which
Yeah.
which gives you the best chance to survive out of
Yeah.
probably the things we're going to be talking about.
Right. Yeah. No, definitely. Because I think for the most part, it'll affect mainly humans. So fish, birds, animals, deer, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Stuff that you're probably able to hunt and
Yeah.
kind of get a hold of. It won't affect them as much. Also, depending on what kind of pandemic it is, because
True.
if birds do eat the dead, they might spread it. They might die.
Facts.
So-
There's that too. Yeah. Okay. I'll go with you on that. Number 5, I think for myself too would be low is like pandemic, and we're talking like very serious. This is still terrible. Like we're talking about
This isn't like
millions.
lighthearted. Like pandemic is fine.
Pandemic.
No.
Like we're like
No, this is like
90%
pandemic. contagion type style.
Yeah.
It starts off at like some restaurant in Asia, ends up coming over here, spreading from like all
Yeah, all of that.
that good stuff. So
But
I think that's low.
that's I would put that too. I mean, not this is like a very very dark, but yeah, very very. I would put that there. That's
Put
because you
it,
know what though, survivable under the
right,
right
exact. That's what I was getting ready to say
circumstances.
next. I said it's bad, but at the same time, it's not as bad as other ones because you can
Yeah,
survive this one. You have a
yeah,
good chance.
yeah.
You have a good chance. So then after that, I think I would go from pandemic to now we're talking like no holds barred anything.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. End of days,
O-
brother.
Okay, so then pandemic. Then I think one that would probably let's go scary. Let's go I'm not exactly sure where to put this one. I'm like looking up at the sky trying to think.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
I'm like looking for answers, like somebody tell me something. No, I would have to say probably a zombie apocalypse.
okay.
Again, it's survival. Okay, so the reason I put that one down like a 4, it's scary as fuck because I mean these are
Yeah.
zombies. They're coming at you. But at the same time, it's still you could still survive. You could still find ways to survive.
Time to nut up or shut up. You got a purty mouth.
Build up some kind of fortress or some base.
Yeah, you could
You know,
find a way to hold out. Yeah,
right
I got you.
somewhere. Okay, and it's still like forage for food. Maybe grow your own food. In that aspect, it's maybe not like a whole bunch, but and I don't think it would be so much as like The Walking Dead, where you're gonna have like
Horde.
yeah, and I don't think it'll also be like you're stuck at like some big school and you just make it as what do you call it? Like a big fortress there, and you have like a big community or something like that.
Yeah,
Because I also believe that what is it like? You have to keep moving. If you
yeah,
stay
for
if you
sure.
stay stagnant, you're gonna die.
You have to be mobile.
Yeah,
I
you got
on
you got to keep going.
on the back end of that, I feel like if I can chime in, I
Hmm.
feel like the most realistic. And now, hear me out on this. This is kind of crazy. This is my opinion. The most realistic zombies that there could be, if there ever were, would be the 28 days later type of zombies. Like the rage ones where it just fucks with their brain and they just rage out and then they just die because it's like rabies. It's rabies.
Right,
That's
it's
what it is.
raging.
It's rabies. It's just hyper rabies. And I think it's one. I think that's the zombie that I'm most terrified of is the fast rage one because
Right.
there's nothing you can do with that. Like
No.
I think that would also alter the way you would defend and fortify and move and stay mobile as well.
Right. Yeah. Again. Yeah. You're absolutely right because I'm with you because uh, if you have zombies like that, you definitely cannot stay still.
No, no, no. You're mobile.
I,
You're
I feel like
mobile and you're quiet.
yeah, you got to get out of there. That's where the
Yeah,
bikes come in handy.
with the wagons. Yep,
Yeah.
bunch of wagons.
All the wagons. And then I'm gonna go to a global. This would definitely have to be global. A global famine.
major crop losses, widespread water shortages or restrictions, and extreme fire danger. In January, Phoenix ended the month with 1/100th of an inch of rain, which tied as the 12th driest January on record.
Oh, that's definitely I could yep.
Because
That
that
would
right
do it.
there, yeah, because that right there, that's scary. Because if it's a famine, that's food sources for everybody that's taking hits.
That leads to everything else. Like that leads like a famine and disease lead to people being rash and making rash decisions. So like famine, crime, death, murder, all that stuff goes way up.
Fast,
Like very fast.
very
So
fast.
then yeah, that's out of control as is. Like right there. So I'm with you on that. That's for me that's that's up there like a global famine, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Yep.
yeah. I mean, that's like, come on. There's there's no food at the store. Uh, if you're growing food, it's going to be very little. And if, of course, if there's no food that's um if you can't grow any food and you try to go get your food, well then that's killing off the animals.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure a global famine would come on the back end of a global disaster. Like
Right.
either uh one of our super volcanoes exploding, something like one of these like either nuclear
Well,
winters or
well, that's another one. Yeah, that would be another one. One that I've been thinking about. Now I don't know if would actually count. Would be Yellowstone.
Chicago and then long last.
100%. That's my like back burner fear. Like
Yeah, yeah,
that's
Yellowstone. And the only thing that I'm glad is that being on the East Coast, that we're far away from that, and we have time to get
yeah.
to down
Yeah,
south.
but we have time to travel because we couldn't stay. Like
No,
that thing pops off, we gotta be mobile. Like
right
the
away.
moment it pops off, like
Yeah.
there's not going to be a later because even what I was reading is like even us where we're at on the East Coast, we're still getting like 2 to 3 inches of volcanic ash, which
Gosh,
is
yeah,
enough to collapse a roof.
which
Like
is crazy.
which is crazy because it's
Yeah.
so dense. You know, no one thinks about that. It's like that's crazy. 2 to 3 inches of ash is insanely heavy and it could collapse structures because
Mm.
of that. And I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, that's up there with that, man. That's
Well, remember those wildfires that happened in Canada,
oh yeah,
and
man.
how it was like all the smoke was coming down here, and I'm really for like the most part, I was like, this is BS. I'm like, come on. But then I noticed like, yeah, there was like smoke coming down this way, and
It was
I
wild.
was actually surprised.
It
I
was
was surprised.
hazy, dude. It was
Yeah.
like hazy. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And it smelled weird, and it was just,
Hmm.
it all was just, it was a wild experience.
It was.
Seeing an effect of something happening so far away, like
That affects us.
that affects us. That's my first time in my life that I've ever experienced that. Something that happened so far away. We're
Yeah.
seeing. I'm like, what? This is a Canadian issue? Oh my God. So
Yeah. So after that, I think, and I'm gonna take, because everybody would say like nuclear winter,
yeah,
or nuclear war and everything, or something like that, because that definitely would just wipe everything out.
yeah.
But honestly, I would have to go with like an ice age.
Ooh,
Because that really would take out
everyone.
A lot. I would take out a lot.
It would take out most first world countries. I
Yeah.
mean, I know that sounds stupid, but if you think about it, if you really like get down to the nitty gritty of it all, like first world countries use like satellites and stuff like that. Like, yeah, that's pretty useless. If we all get thrown into like an ice age where our tech is no good, we're on an equal playing field with everyone.
Well, just think about all those people that have battery powered cars.
Oh yeah, they're done.
Their cars would be are useless because the batteries would just. I mean, you heard about with those Cybertrucks that they're what is it? I think some guy had one like in Wisconsin or something like that. And it, like the temperature dropped down real low.
Just died.
It wouldn't even start.
Wow.
It's just sitting there.
Yeah, that's a huge issue. It's like after a certain point, they don't hold a charge. Like you have to, they won't charge if they go below a certain point.
So what's funny is because we did construction before.
Mhm.
Our batteries, if they're not warm enough,
Dump them.
yeah. So it's like they're no good. You got to like
Yeah.
put them in the car, heat them up a little bit, and otherwise they're just
It's done.
they're
They're
done.
done.
They're just
But
bricks.
I'm with you on that, man. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. But an ice age to me, it would depend because like it would have to be like a day after tomorrow type ice age. Something
Well, yeah.
like fast moving, like, hey, yesterday it was nice. Today, fucking frozen.
Well, look, they do have that. They do have that mammoth that actually was frozen. They said it froze so fast that it still had food in its belly.
That's see, like
So
that's the
I mean,
shit that's
it's
terrifying.
day after tomorrow, but it's possibly could be true.
Yeah. See, if like that's the shit, like if that's the shit that could happen, like no one's ready for that. No one's ready for like see, that's like cataclysm. That's like
Yeah.
natural shit. Like there's nothing you could do to prepare like
Mm-mm.
for that. I mean, I don't even know what Dennis Quaid is doing now. Like how would he come rescue us?
Yeah.
That's a Day After Tomorrow reference if those guys that haven't seen that movie. But
But
yeah,
that's my top 5
dude,
because I
I'm
try
with
to take
you.
out the asteroid and try to take out the nuclear war.
For me, Asteroid is always going to be an elite tier. Like above the top 5. That's always my inherent fear. I feel like that's so realistic and it's terrifying. Like it's just like it's just a matter of time. Maybe not my lifetime, maybe not in 100 generations lifetime.
Well,
It's
I
just
hope it's not in my lifetime.
it's just fucking inevitable. Like we have what is it? Apophis in 2029. That's passing 26,000 miles away from the Earth.
Yeah,
You
sounds
can
like
watch it.
It sounds like it's far away, but it's not.
No.
According to like
No.
I guess astronomers.
No, according to just miles in general, like a near miss is like 400,000 miles away. That's a near miss. We're threading the needle with this thing. That's how close it is. And depending on which way it misses, if it hits a certain allocated, I don't know, sonic ring in the sky, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that dictates whether if it comes back around in orbit and hits us on the way back the next time around, which is in, I think, 2020. If the 2029 is our near miss, it's April Fool's 2029. Is when it's passing 26,000 miles away from Earth. If it hits a keyhole and gets trapped in our orbit, it's going to smack us the next time. It's about the size of the Empire State Building, going Mach fuck all. Like it's going super fast. But yeah, that's up there in my head. But for me, Yellowstone is an inherent fear. I would put that at a. I would put your pandemic outbreak, something like that, at a number 5. I'm with you on that. I agree with you. I'll go with you on that 100%, bro. Number 4, I feel like my list is going to go more sort of natural, not really man-made, not really man-made end of days. Definitely more natural. Like let's say, for instance, Yellowstone, right there with you, strapped in, right there with you. The Yellowstone pops off, and I think there's a couple of super volcanoes out there that will have the same kind of global effect as a Yellowstone around the world, where it would basically decimate crops. It would basically bring about the end of North America.
Yeah.
Infrastructure, period. Like it would set everything back in the US like hundreds of years, maybe. Like for us
I'll
to
go with hundreds of years.
Hundreds of years. Like just we're done. We're done. Just we're blank slate. And then for me, I think my next one would be a solar flare.
And a warning to everyone. Okay. A super flare. In our own solar system. A 100 microtesla wave of radiation that would destroy our ozone layer. Killing every living organism on the planet.
Something like that takes out tech, because once you take out our tech, we're susceptible to attack. We're susceptible to anyone that has an issue with us, which is a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people have issues with us.
You take out tech, you take out a lot of first world defense offensive measures. That makes no sense. First world offensive measures, like a lot of shit can shift with a powerful enough solar flare where it sets us back there. And even cars and shit wouldn't work with a big enough solar flare.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. It would just stop.
Infrastructure would fry pretty much.
Yeah.
And then that's my third one. I think my number 5 slot, my top tier would probably be like, what are they saying? Like pole shifting? Like a day after tomorrow cataclysm type of thing.
Yeah.
Not even a day after tomorrow. What was that? What was that movie with what's his face? The limo driver. You know what I'm talking about.
2012.
Yeah, 2012. That is a, when I saw that movie, I was like, this is ridiculous. But then I'm like, holy shit. Something like multiple mega tsunamis terrifies the crap out of me. Like the big waves, the fucking 2,000 miles.
Yeah,
like,
the waves are like 1,000 foot high, and they just come in and just wipe everything.
Yeah, people don't like the tsunamis. Like, right? People are like, okay, they think of the Indonesian one, right, or whatever. Like that's pales in comparison to like these big ones that we have on like recorded history. Like when we have these, let's say, whatever meteor strikes, asteroid strikes, those things go super high and they go so fast. They go so fast.
So
like, nothing. They go past, like for us on the East Coast, I think the Appalachian Mountains would act as almost a break for the wave. Possibly. Like that's how big this thing would go. It would, the mountain range would be a break. You might be okay in like Tennessee, possibly.
I couldn't even imagine. Man. That'd be, how scary is that, man?
Dude, it's just knowing that nowhere on this planet is 100% safe at any time. Like there's just, it is what it is. It's just, it's like the equalizing factor of it all.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, everyone's like, oh no, the USA, you know, it's blessed with all its natural resources and stuff like that. We have a super fucking volcano nestled right in the breadbasket that could pop at any moment that could destroy
Oh my gosh.
the
Yeah.
balance. You know, I want to know the person that shit himself when he found out that that was a super volcano. Because
Oh my gosh.
could you imagine? Could you? Because like growing up, I never knew it was a super volcano.
I didn't either.
That's kind of like ish new.
I mean, yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I'm with you because when I was growing up, I didn't know that that was a super
No, it's just
volcano.
a fucking
And actually,
geyser.
yeah, and it was like, yeah, I mean, it's been a few years, not a few. I don't want to say a few years, so that makes it sound like it's been like 3. But it was like it's been a while, and
Yeah,
I didn't know that it was like a super volcano. I'm like, oh my gosh, if that thing goes, which
yeah,
they keep saying how like you know,
it's
oh, scientists
overdue.
are saying any day now. It's like
Yeah,
it's at it's what they say. It's time.
it's been its time for like we're past its time. Like we're on borrowed time for this thing to go off. If you go
Right.
back to the records, right? If you're gauging it from when it went off last, you know. But yeah, those are my I would say top fives, something like that. Like the shifting. I feel like the shifting of
The polls.
the poles, that is a extinction level 100%. Like
Yeah.
that is a tough one to survive. That is we start from scratch. Um,
Oh, man.
uh,
Yeah.
but but everything else that we mentioned, I feel like the humankind would make it out.
Yeah.
Would
Yeah.
one or two or 10 of us would make it out, you know. But yeah, that's what I would think. I think, but definitely at number 4, biological, kind of pandemic kind of thing. But
Mhm. Mhm.
everything else from there, I'm more terrified of the I'm more terrified of, and this is probably me, just inherent fear of just natural shit that I have. There's absolutely zero control over. Like man-made stuff, it's like okay, that's karma. We get it. We deserve it. We're idiots. We don't know what we got, and we
Yeah.
effed it up. You know,
Yeah.
that's us. But like a solar flare, huge volcano, like we're just bad beat at that point. Like nothing we could have done. That's just like
Right.
effed, you know. And that's kind of, yeah, that's my thing. It's like it's that kind of stuff. um that terrifies me. When you can't see it coming, when it's just like, and that's it. That's all she wrote. It's time to reset.
Well, what's terrifying to me is like seeing it coming and like you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, what do? I mean, you just go to the beach and just wait for the wave to hit you. Like
Yeah.
there's, I mean, see, being me, if I were single, that's different. I'm like, we live, we laugh, we die, we know whatever. Now, like as a father, as a parent, you know, as a husband, you're like,
Yeah. It's like,
it
man,
sucks, man. That's a weird feeling right there, man. Just being hopeless is a terrifying feeling. Um, but yeah. So no, those are all terrifying. Obviously, I feel like top tier for everyone listening is the asteroid for me. That's the extinction level one.
yeah. So I hope everyone's listening to this
Yeah.
right before they go to bed.
Yeah. Apophis, NASA.com. Look it up. You can watch it.
You can watch it live.
Yeah, it's nuts, guys. It's really fucking nuts.
I have to imagine they have like some kind of plan. They have to.
I mean, I guess. I
I mean, you're gonna. I don't know. I don't see them just letting us all.
don't
We
know.
have. We have. I mean, who knows what kind of technology we have, man? Who knows?
I see themselves trying to protect them, not trying to protect us. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
Like,
I know that, but I mean, and even, dude, if it's something like that, they'd have to try to protect. If they'd have to try to protect us, only because if it hits the world and everything just falls apart, there's nothing for them. They'll end up dying anyway.
yeah, no, exactly. See, for me, okay, hear me out on this. You survive one of these global catastrophes, these apocalyptic catastrophes, end of world scenarios. You survive. the hard part has just started for you. Now you have to survive. Like,
Yeah.
that's the
And
hard. Okay,
you know that-
surviving the event is one thing. Surviving for the rest of your life is
you
a
know that's one of the
different thing.
things too, that there's always those people that survive that have never lifted a finger to do anything.
Yeah. That's what irritates me. That's what irritates
Yeah.
me. That's what irritates
So
me. But,
yeah, no, good top 5.
Yeah.
And definitely we're gonna do it again.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for joining us on this top 5. If you enjoyed it, leave a comment,
Definitely.
hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. We're gonna be here for at least a little while longer. And until next time, everybody. Peace.
Later.
We are out.
In a world of shadows and hidden truths, we search for answers, we chase the clues. A podcast of enigma.